This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, September 20th, 2024. I'm Gary Dick. More record numbers. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation says it has broken another record for capital investment in the state. $38.3 billion through 3 quarters of this year. That number is $10 billion more than the total for all of 2023, which was also a record. Through 9 months, 124 companies committed to locate or expand in the state, with commitments of more than 13,000 jobs, with an average wage of more than $77,000 annually, that according to the IEDC. In Northwest Indiana, plans have been unveiled for Marvella, the nation's first sports complex dedicated to girls' sports and leadership. The development at Fair Oaks Farms in Newton County is expected to create about 1,000 new jobs in the Northwest Indiana region. The sports complex will also fuel tourism and the sports economy, hosting tournaments, camps, and clinics, and sports-centric experiences at Fair Oaks Farms. That according to co-creator Glenn Tilley.
Our point of difference, very important, is that when an athlete, the team, the family come to our campus, they're going to have the best-in-class athletic experience, from tournaments, tournament competition, the best facilities dedicated to the needs of our young women athletes, to then having this complementary leadership exposure and mental health education.
The Marvella is named in honor of Indiana Senator Birch Bayh's late wife, who inspired the creation of Title IX. New this morning, TechPoint has announced it is expanding its Central Indiana Founders Network to Bloomington. Meetings will be held at the Mill and aimed at giving innovators there a way to network and get needed support. The Mill is billed as the Center for Entrepreneurship in Bloomington and serves more than 50 founders in the region. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage. Hendricks County government has agreed to settle zoning discrimination claims. Here's Alex Brown.
The county agreed to pay $300,000 and change its zoning policies to settle allegations that it violated federal laws by denying zoning approval for an Islamic seminary and accompanying housing. The agreement comes after a U.S. Department of Justice investigation into allegations that the county twice unlawfully denied zoning approval to the company Al Hussein Inc. The company sought to develop a religious seminary, K-12 religious school, and residential housing in the county. The federal government sued the county, alleging violations of the Fair Housing Act and Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act. The county agreed to settle the lawsuit by paying $295,000 to the company and a civil penalty of $5,000 to the U.S. government. It also must adopt fair housing and appropriate religious land use policies and train its officials and employees on the requirements of those laws. The settlement agreement is awaiting review by the U.S. District Court in Indianapolis. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indianapolis-based board management software firm OnBoard has hired Mark Huffman as its new CEO. He succeeds the company's founding CEO, Parun Chadha. Huffman took over the reins last week at OnBoard, whose platform allows boards of directors to create agendas, store and manage digital documents, and conduct other board business digitally. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.